Okay, Brian, narrate.
Oh, don't take a picture.
Okay, Brian, narrate.
Narrate? I'm not narrator.
You are.
I'm just telling the story of a little...
Well, tell them what we're doing here.
Well, today is the 29th of May, the day I got home off my mission. And
who cares?
We're celebrating. No, I'm just kidding. We're having a family reunion today. The Bauer Reunion. Grandpa Rex Bauer, which is our grandpa, is just about ready to speak to us and kind of tell us about his history. And we're all gathered together. We have my Aunt Gail's family, all her kids and their grandkids, and my Aunt Renee's also, and my mom.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. I'll come and get these kids over here.
Go away.
Okay, here's the nursery.
Nick, on my
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi. You gotta clap. You gotta clap. Okay, everybody, real fast. This old man came rolling so fast. All right, we need to do 5 little.
How are you doing, Rita?
There's Rita.
I wanted to be sure everybody knew. Notice.
Uh-oh. Don't close their ears.
You know what we heard all the way? All the way from the shop yesterday.
Are you ready? What about you guys back there? Do you want chairs? Keith and Todd and do you want to?
Don't turn around and say it again.
Tell you what, I'll sit
Hey,
clear
Todd,
back
say it
here.
again. Turn around and say it to the camera.
The Adventures of Rex Bauer. Take 1.
I'd like to say just a few little things. First and most important thing I want to say, I'm grateful to have this family, our family, together. That's what life's all about. It's a family that can be forever, forever. Forever, that means a lot, doesn't it? And I'm so grateful that you're all here. And I think over the things we have with us today, Charles and Steve, who just finished missions not long ago, and have their girlfriend here. That means a lot to us. That means a lot to Grandma and I. Now, I have a few things here on the table. I wrote a book, and this is the culmination of 83 years. Any of you that read the book will know what I mean. I want to show you one picture that I think is so marvelous. And the little children, I don't think they appreciate it. But I have made an addendum to my book. There's a lot of things I didn't want to put in the book. One is my history of ordinations and line of authority. And I have that in this book. I have the accomplishments I made. I'm glad for this opportunity right now. I didn't want to put that in the book. I'm just going to take 1 minute here and show you this one picture.
Oh, well, listen to something. Oh, we're going to start all over.
At the top of this page, I would like to put it in the book. It's a picture of Grandma and I at 2 years old. I don't know how it ever turned out that we would have these two pictures. And to me, and at the top of the page I had eternal perspective. Now maybe you can see why I'm grateful to have all of you here today. That eternal perspective meant that when we were married, where we begin to think serious. That was our goal. In fact, the ranch I built was built solely with the intention of having a refuge for all of my family someday if things got tough and they could want to come back. We could actually live there and make a living. And that was my whole perspective all my life. How many have read anything in that little book? You know that my mother died when I was a week old, and I went to Santa Clara, and my Aunt raised me. So some people that don't have the book, I'd like to pass it out because if we take this trip, it would be nice for you. I might even refer to have you look up that particular story as we get to the places. I believe that this can mean quite a bit, but that little picture to me meant a lot. I wanted to put it in the book, but I thought, well, that wouldn't be so appropriate maybe. Then in this book, I want to have one right now, each one of my children. We have in here the histories and also the accomplishments that I made. That's right, you might think that sounds boasting. I didn't do it for that purpose. I wanted them to know that I struggled and I tried to achieve something in life. I did. And I have 6 plaques, picture of 6 plaques that I received here. And the first one was, I taught for 36 and a half years. And to me, that's quite an accomplishment. I don't think I could do that today. Even if I were young, the way things are. And I also have some news clippings on this, and this is for my children only. See this bell? That was given to me because of 36 and a half years of service in teaching. As far as I'm concerned, that was valuable service in my life. I have also a letter from one of my senior students. I have a letter from, when we were guys at the Morton Harrison home. Two families came through and took videotapes of us. I would like to read one or two of them, and also from this student. I know we're in a hurry to go. We have a lot of young people here. I'm going to go over the things I did here that we're going to see. We're going up Bluff Road over here to go to the side up here at Winchester Hills where Snow Canyon heads. And that's the first story I want to tell. I want to tell you about this Bluff Road. I helped build that in 1932. How many years is that? 1931. How many years is it? 62 years ago. They started to come around the point of the Black Hill up here, and they decided the road used to be, the main road used to be a diagonal. That's the only road I ever traveled. But I helped build this new road down to Boulevard. That's the first thing. You'll travel on that road. The next thing I'd like you to notice as you go up is Dodge's Meadow. You'll see it after we leave the Black Hill. You'll see it to your left. You can't recognize much there now, but in my day, the wards in the area and the state used to go there and hold their Sunday school conventions and all the picnics. And I want you to notice that because that has something to do with my story, especially the whole book. Well, the Snows Canyon, the ghost of Snows Canyon. I say that, if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. I have some clippings, and if any of you want them, I wrote the story of Snows Canyon. And to me, I used that a lot in my school teaching, to tell the kids when I wanted to tell them something, I'd tell them that story. Then on Halloween, especially when I got to where the ghost was about to grab me, I jumped, and they jumped. And this meadow where Dodge had a ranch up at Pine Valley, that's up above where we're going to go today. But anyway, I want you to remember that. Notice as you go up, to your left, Can't see much of it anymore, but there is water and big cottonwood trees and a beautiful meadow. Used to be a beautiful meadow. Now it's developed into subdivision. But the head of where we're going, this is the slide of the story. What made it such a traumatic experience for me. The story was told of Mexican President Ivers had a horse ranch out in the Bull Valley. Killed that horse, President Ivers. You wouldn't know that. He was a counselor to Heber J. Grant. Counselor to Heber J. Grant in the church. That's been about 1900. And he had this ranch. He had also one in Mexico. But somebody started stealing his horses. So the sheriff here in Washington County got a posse and they went out to the lake park. They signed for 3 men in Mexico stealing the horses. Now this is the story I heard. I've got a backup on that now. I told my wife they'd never believe it. But a few months ago in the Spectrum came out the story of what happened. They killed him, shot him right outside the place where we were going. And I knew this story. I knew they'd been shot and buried right there. Now the state has made a monument. This is something I didn't know. They came out in the paper and the state made a monument and they found the skeleton. Buried down right shallow in the ground. And I knew this story. So I had to leave home and go pedaling. We had to take an extra horse because we went over to Middleton to go over a 19-mile steep drive. And we always took an extra horse to go up this place. And I had to go this time and ride the horse back. And we only got up there about 10 or 12, about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And I had to ride the horse down to that canyon. I was 12 years old. And I was scared. I knew this story. And so we came to old horse. Ezra Tober, the one I live with, said, now Rex, I said, well, can't we be here tonight? He said, no. He said, we told the folks that you're coming back tonight, now they'll be expecting you and you've got to go. So I went. All the way down, I hung that horse. You read the story in there, as soon as you can. And I wanted to stop along the way now and then and show you, point out something. Ken and Dwayne, I took these boys to go this trip. The canyon's now named Snow Canyon, but in my day it was named Santa Clara Canyon. It's a beautiful canyon. There's no more beautiful scenery in the world than it is right back to this canyon. We'll go through Ivans, eventually we'll be talking. I'm a bit different. We go through Ivans today, and I helped clear Ivans for 7. President Ivans came down, called a meeting in Santa Clara, and old people around that area, and he said, we want to make a town up here in this area on this big land. And so I volunteered to go up. I was about 12 or 13 years old. And I was to take pitchforks, the young kids in town, take pitchforks and gather up the brushes. The men plowed out. You didn't have tractors and caterpillars and all. You did everything with a horse. They plowed out the chaparral. We gathered up the brush, plowed it, and got the kids to do that and burn it. We spent several days. So when you go through Ivans, remember that. And that also, Ivans is the place where I came after the holdup. Is that the holdup? That's where I run for 3 miles. I was 17 years old. And when you read the story of the holdup, you know I'm talking it was terrific. Now, when we get back down to, maybe you read about, I wrote about the miracle. We'll go, and I don't know if it's stop or not, but there's a duckling out. The other day, he just left yesterday morning to go back. Ranch president, when I that's the way most of these young people do it. Speeding up too fast. I noticed this loose gravel and I stopped on the brakes and I started skidding off this stuff. I thought I was out over it too, the brakes. And I just said, oh God, help me. Next thing I knew, oh my, going down the road. And then when I first started out on mission, I told this story in the meeting. I turned to Gilbert on the stand. I said, remember that, Gilbert? He said, yes, I do. Every minute. I see, I need backup from a lot of these things. I said to a lot of them wouldn't leave this holding. So I called one of the other boy that was with me, Hebert, over. He's in Richmond. And I said, Hebert, I gave him a book. I said, do you remember the hold up? He said, Rex, how could I forget it? Facing a double barrel shotgun for 2 hours. So you see, I could get proof of that. Well, then I come down and I told the story and I remember Bailey. I see if you haven't read part of it. Bailey, an old fugitive from Germany during World War I. Remember reading any of it? He wore knickerbockers, and everybody thought he was a spy. And they all afraid of him, and I was afraid of him. But he was down getting willow. He wore willow, he wore baskets. He was down along the ditch. I'm going to take you there. Just there for a minute. Publisher said, it's amazing how you remember these details. Read the page in the back of it, in the back cover. And we'll pass my home in Santa Clara. And that helped me with what. Now, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? We'll go in cars. I have to take my van. Can't see very good. Anyway.
You won't have to take your van.
Well, that can I ride with you guys? Okay, I appreciate that. We're going to do that. Now, once in a while, we'll stop. I'll show you this so you'll know what we do. When we go to Ivan, when we go up to the edge of that volcano, I think I've been debating whether it takes the time to go on up where I left. Now, I said this culminates 83 years. That book is a story. Here's I'll be honest, I didn't remember so well. And I want right now to give Renee and Dale down here, so I'd like them to pick up, or your husbands, to pick this book up, Richard. And I want you to take it. Because that's all I'm going to give. It's just one truth. If any of you children are interested in seeing what I did accomplish, I'd like you to. Do a better. Now I keep track. We keep Margaret and I keeping one, and I got one more, maybe I'll get to Gilbert. But I'd like each of you now to take one of these books. Take it with you. When you get to a certain place, I tell you, you can find it. I don't mind telling you the page or not. I haven't checked that. To show you. And then if you want to quickly. Who would like to take a book?
How about if we just take one in each car or something?
That would be fine. That would be fine. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you, I'll go over this list again. If you want to mark those pages, you want to turn to it, so you can when you get there. If the story down, if you read it, you probably won't have to do it. Now on the whole, we won't. This New York, that you up. He said, I want you to go over the place.
I ain't go blow my nose.
I would like some of you, all of you will want to go there, but just to see, isn't it unusual that you have an author of a book be reading a paper on the floor? That's kind of unusual. So, I'd like to do it for my children. So, I'm going to run over this big rough road. You don't need to that. That's all. I mentioned it in the book. Dodgers, I've mentioned that too, where on the way to school one day, after this experience of seeing those ghosts, when I come down on that horse at midnight, it was dark. I saw 3 white objects right alongside of it. And that really, can you imagine, at 12 years old, you did what he liked. I kicked the horse. He was an old horse. He was tired from the day's work. He wouldn't hardly move when I'd kick him. But I was anxious to hurry and get through my ride. So I'd kick him, and the first part of the trade down was a lava, sharp on his feet, old, poor old horse. And this Ezra told me, he said, now Rex, I'd never been down the canyon. He said, don't worry, just give the horse his reins. That's all you have to worry about. Just give him his reins, he'll find the way home. The horse, you know, has that instinct. They can take the reins, he never goes. So I gave him, but I was anxious, so I kicked him to get over the pit. Well, I'm going to read these off quick. There's Dodgers, real good. It's a really, now you'll see some cotton trees off that. The graves, I can't take you right to them because I haven't done that since they put the marker there. I like it, I'll show you about where it was. I think the end of the yard. Then the Santa Clara Canyon, we'll go down through it. The first part of the canyon is nothing but lava rock, sharp rock. And the last part is deep sand, deep sand. So when the horse got down over the rough road, now he had to plow through this deep sand. And the fence is still there. I told him the story. When we come to the fence, the horse stopped me. I couldn't see the fence. The horse stopped me, he wouldn't go, and I kicked. I didn't dare yell because the ghost was dead. And so I stooped down, I could see the tall post on each side of the gate. The fence is still there. You'll go through it just before you get to the end of the canyon, down to the very mouth of the canyon. Then, Ivan, you'll go through that. Then I'm going to take you to the hold up. And then I do want you to notice that Doug ways. I don't know how we can signal to you. I can tell the ones in the corner of me. And then Bailey will go to Jake's family and I like to hold them. And walk about 150 yards to walk over to where it's there. You read the story in there. He chased Keith and I. We were just little on about first or second grade. We'd all gone up, the whole school had let out to go up to meet Gunlock. We were going to have an athletic competition all day, and we were so excited. And all the school kids were there, and they were throwing rocks down over the creek, and they hit Bailey. He came out of those guys like a tiger. And Keith and I were the closest ones to him, so we took for us. Of course, when we saw him coming, we started to run. Then he did think we were going to the other. He followed us, took us down to the lady there, biggest cookie, and she saw us coming. She hurried and rushed us in the house, and here come Bailey after us. She had a hard time keeping him out of the house. But I tell the story in this book. Now, if you said you want one in each car, let's see who. Now, when you get through, I'd like to have them back. I won't have too many books related to go. Sold crowd, but I'm up here to the bookstore. Who else? So when you get through, did my children all get one of these? Yes. Now, in that I have my line of authority. I have the history of my grandparents. Not many people have what I have. I have a picture of every one of my grandparents. My grandfather was in the Martin Company, what a nice, met a girl in Switzerland. They loved each other. They wanted to get married, but they wanted to come to Switzerland. He's the only one out of the Bauer family, out of thousands, who joined the church. He came over just a boy. When they got here, they were married. Then came in the Martin Hancock Company. You know what that is, if you know history at all. Half of them died. And now, they were too late. They got a big storm in Wyoming. And that story's in here, and it's beautiful. The woman that wrote it spent 5 years researching that. She went to Switzerland. She gathered all the information. I prize that. I wouldn't take $1,000 or more for that story alone. It's a beautiful story if you read it. You'll read well,
He's on here now.
Those that have it for the
Yeah, we see how you really feel.
my grandmother was in one company ahead. And she waited in Utah for my grandfather to die. And when they come to Utah, they got married. But my grandmother, when they got to just before the spring off, just I don't know, just across the river from Aldo. I can't remember the name of the place. You remember? Winter Quarters. That's it. They left there 2 days after they lost 2 girls, one 18 and one 20. With malaria fever. They went on, about 3 days later, the father died of the same disease, of this little family. About several days later, Conrad, I remember his name, a young boy, 12, 15 years old, stopped by a spring. He was tired. I guess he had the fever. They don't know. He stopped by a stream of water, and the last I saw him, he was wiping his head, and he asked if he couldn't stay there till evening when it's cooler so he could come on. Remember the pushing handcuffs. Didn't think they'd go. That night he never came. So they sent a company back to find him. They never ever found him. Never ever found him. Brian, one of the where's Brian? He knows a fellow in Australia. My sister got a letter, the mayor did in Cedar, wanted to know if any Bauer lived there. And so the mayor gave it to Ardella, and we corresponded with this man. He's a descendant in the Elliker family. One stayed back and they lost Conrad. One stayed in Switzerland. Come to find out this guy that is the janitor of the fellow you knew, he was the one that came from Switzerland. Isn't it interesting, folks? Isn't it interesting history? I want to tell you this church is something. We know that Joseph Smith is true prophet. We know that. I have another paper here. I get a paper. It's called Prophet Puzzle. Just put out a year ago at BYU. They had a big convention, and they found more things that the Prophet Joseph Smith has done. That's true. In organizing cities, I've got some copies. I'd like to use. Do you have one? I want to give you one. I took one to Gracia.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, she liked it. I've given one to many of the members in the ward, some of the family members. I've given them one. To me, that meant a lot. See, I was on the mission out there where Joseph Smith lived. Where he started the church, the cradle of the church. And to me, this meant everything. It meant so much to me because the first thing people say, I can't take Joseph Smith. That's the thing that prevented me. I wish I could get it to everybody. I'm going to give more when we get back. Remind me, will you? I made copies of them. And now, folks, I just read it. Are they ready in the house? I did pretty well to keep you guys busy while they were doing their work. Margaret!
Excuse me, I gotta go get those candy bars.
That's the main thing. You're gonna go to sleep yet? Here, call on Grandma's car.
The back of your car.
Oh, yay, stretch it. Whoa, great.
Did you all hear Rich?
What?
It's time now to use the restroom.
Yeah?
Think about that
Oh,
for me.
tell you, good little girl.
You are?
You gotta learn to hang on to a bonnet.
You gotta kind of pack it together, you know.
It's nice and cool back there. We got right back to the
So,
Yeah, too bad we don't have a truck, huh?
Hey, am I
let's
right?
see, I forgot.
Sherry's gonna ride with us too.
In the back.
throw some people in the back.
I'll ride your back, sure. Yeah, see, yeah, there you go.
You can all just pile on there. We fit. Grab how to be. Grab that phone. Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
That, the rear.
You wanna ride in the back of the truck?
Oh, you were on the way down.
Oh, I want to read that.
Appreciate it. Thank goodness someone took it. How are you? Good. You're growing right up. Last time I saw you, you were about that tall. Now you're rolling like a weed.
The gravy right now, Laura. Wow.
Or sure, you could ride in the back of the truck with Steve's truck. Yeah, Charles might ride back there. You can sit back there and see everything and go back to the truck.
Does she know how to walk safely?
Just about. She'll walk with one hand. I'll hold her feet. She can hold my finger and walk.
Well, we're on our way to the tour. Steven's truckload, Mark and Robin's van, boat. Ooh, that felt good.
Are we ready yet? Hi! Hi out there. Hi, Cambria. When are you guys back?
Hey, watch it.
Oh, look, it's nice weather.
I know.
You want to wear mine?
Like my run by
They're
shooting.
cheap, but they work.
There we go.
You're outside.
We're used to the drive-by.
Oops.
We're more mellow in Utah. We can't afford cars.
You guys are cool, man.
Thank you.
I tried to get a hold of Bart Anderson. He's a historian here. He's the one that wrote that article in the Spectrum to see exactly where it was. The states put some markers up where there's been buried. Because they dug them up, one had a hole in his head, and they couldn't find a bullet hole in the other one. But they said that's what happened. And it's got to be between that point and that point. Now, the volcano, this is what I wish we could have done, but I think it'd be hard to find a place to pull off the road. Is up here where I left them, back up around just to Diamond Valley.
Speak right into it.
Whoever has such nice little girls.
Well, no one else could
Push
hear
on
it.
this one, Tom.
She just recorded it. Oh, wait. Let me see. Well, the problem is it's loud. We need another tape, Todd. Get another tape so we can do it loud so we can hear.
Wait. We'll do it for the next stop.
But up here, it must be about 2 or 3 miles from here. We go around and we go to the road that came up there. They call it the Big Diamond. I said 19 miles from there down to the middle. That was nothing but a steep grade. Then they come down into what they call Diamond Valley. And just as we got into Diamond Valley, where they pulled the team off and unhooked them, built a fire, and I hated to leave. I worried all the time about making this trip down this canyon. Now, if you can see the point of that hill up there, that's where the road goes up around. There's a great big volcano. And that's what fed all this volcanic rock here to St. George. There's 3 volcanoes up here. 2 here and one up just farther near Vail. And those are the volcanoes that erupted and poured this lava down here. It's an interesting history, people, to see this up on top. Now see, here's Black Rock here and down through here. Well, the Black Rock, we'll go down through it here in a few minutes, is where I had to ride the horse. It starts up just the other side of this white hill up here. You can see that goes up around and goes to Vail. And that big volcano. But anyway, back over about 2 miles, 3 miles, onto the road that comes up over the point to the mountain, where they unhooked and camped, and I had to leave. And I begged them. I said I was scared, but I didn't dare say I can't go. I knew better than that. So I thought, well, the Lord maybe will bless me. So I come on the horse. And when you're on a horse, others of you read that story in there about my friend, the black horse. That's exactly how I felt. I put my hand around his neck, and I just felt like I was saved. And a horse has more sense than we give him credit for. And of course, in there I told about it wasn't the same horse. It was a team. That was one of the team. And anyway, I came down and all these down through those lava, and there was no road, no sign of a road, just a trail down through there. And the horse, as he stepped on this rough, sharp road, just stumbled along. We went down here, we'd come down to down here to the horse. And this is where they were buried. And I want you to notice and think about back that 3 miles before. I noticed there's posts down here. I imagine it's about 13, 14 miles from where I left off to go down. So it'd be about 2.5, 3 hours to ride down to the canyon. So I was in almost a nightmare all the way down to the canyon. Now in the night I thought of this. I wish I could bring you up tonight at 12 o'clock and start you down that road alone. Then you'd begin to feel how I felt. You wouldn't know where you're going. Never been down through it before. I just depended and trusted that old horse. Edgar said, give him his reins, he'll take you home. And that's what he did. And you know how hard that would be sometimes. Another thing, when we got, it's up here a little farther, there's 2 roads, 2 trails. One come down this way and the people from St. George, then right down along this it wasn't in here, it was over just over the hill there. Down along the edge, we'll show you. Notice to your left going up. When we get down that third place, there's a big plateau. They went right along parallel to where I went with my horse. And that's where I saw the ghost. So, did you notice dodges? Did any of you remember to notice dodges when you come past? That green place just as you left the big black hill down there? I showed Delwyn and ones in our car. That was Dodge's Spring. Beautiful meadow.
There's a beautiful church on it right now.
Oh, and one more thing I want. Yeah, the big beautiful church on it. I'd like you to ask questions. That's the best way for me to satisfy you. If you ask me questions about the thing.
I don't know if anybody checked the gas.
We just noticed as we started out here.
She's a pretty good wife too, Grandpa.
Dad, where are we going? What story are we going to next?
We're going to follow this down through Snow Canyon. We go through Snow Canyon.
We go?
And then we'll go into Highland. There's a natural bridge. I told you down there, you won't many of you remember. I told you this was not Snow's Canyon. They named it Snow Canyon now. But it's Santa Clara Canyon. But we have to go by Snow's Canyon.
Right.
So that's the way it is. And there's a big natural bridge. We won't go over there. We won't go. I took a scout there many times. Camped overnight. Big, beautiful natural bridge.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
All right.
Back in the car.
When we get down there.
Yes, you can have this one. Go ahead. Excuse me.
Cooler, but it's not bad, is it?
It's really good. It could be much worse.
Vicky, say hi to Mama.
Hi, baby.
Say hi, Grandfather. Say hi to my grandfather.
Out here in the desert. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, dear.
Tell his story.
See all the Black Rock? Came down over Black Rock. Here's right off that point where the get into the sand.
2 lovebirds.
And it's just like the sand dunes over the sand. Ever been there? Beautiful down in the water. And we understood the other day when the herring was in the they told him that this is recreation. wealthy people, I guess, that can afford that. They do this. And you those hikers up here? You know some hikers up here on the roads? This is where we drop off from the black rock. We drop off into the sand. I don't know just exactly where I came down. I didn't see it. Too dark. But I came down and just rode the horse, depended on him bringing me to safety. We came down, but we dropped into the sand. And then it wasn't stumbling over rock, sharp rock. It was trying to climb and walk through that deep sand. He was tired. He had pulled for over 8 hours, pulled up that mountain. And I was on his back, and he was taking me to safety. And, you know, I don't know if you read the story of my friend in that book. It's in the introduction. He was a teammate to the one I rode. Only the other one was older. They might have been brothers. The one I rode down was the oldest one. He was something like 23 years old when I rode him down through here. That's quite old for a horse. Maybe for me. But he wasn't too sure-footed. And I'll tell you, I had a lot of faith in that old horse. He brought me through safety. Now, while I'm at it, I'll tell you one more story about this. Why I was so frightened. I told you up there, I wish I could take you up at night and just say, now you guys go down through that canyon when you couldn't see. You begin to have the feeling I had. Now you'll understand. But down here in Santa Clara was a man named Ernest Davis. He's Carol's father. After the influenza, he kind of lost his mind. He was sick all day long. Never moved. He raised horses. He had one horse. Good horses, they said, one of the fastest horses in the area. He came down through here one night, and he got down at the end, and he saw gold. And he rode that horse about 3 miles across there, wide open, in sand and all. And then he got just about his drop off into Santa Clara, to the hill. He got across the island, back, drop off, horse fell dead. Now that's another story I remember. That's almost true. And I was relieved to know they were horses. I told you about seeing the other dog, and he said, yes, I just come and get my horse to take home for the winter. Brought him down to over the road at that. And I showed the people that were with me that little plateau in the ridge came right out close to the where it came down under. So I could see him all the way down that canyon. I had my arms around that horse and made the ghost of him. So, I guess that's it. Now when we get down there, you'll see those buildings I told you about. The government's moved in and built those buildings.
Kind of a health preserve, so that's when you come and
Yep.
get all kinds of attention and
Brother
diets.
Harrington told us, he said, he inquired, he said I think it's $500 a night a day. I don't know what you're going to do about picnic. What did I tell you about Ivan?
You helped settle it.
I helped settle it. I helped
And
build
clear
the
it.
ground.
Help build the roads and
In
everything.
fact, the Tober sister, one of them, was one of the couples that President Ivan called to settle it.
Well, all right, then we'll see you down to the park down.
Two people feel blessed
I do.
in this life.
I think all of us.
I surely do. 3 things happened here in my life. I told you one, I helped clear the ground. It was nearly all chaparral. You know what that is? You see it in these hills, that little bush, nice green bush they've been the year round. And they have made tea out of it. Tea that made me think of Savior when they gave him the cup of bitter, you know, in the thorn.
Good tea.
Yeah, that's the kind of tea. Look back of you here. That's one other thing. All my life I dreamed of climbing this mountain right here. my dream. Never climbed it. Bishop said, well, you got to hurry. I guess I
Now
will.
it's getting to be a nightmare.
Now it's beginning to be a nightmare. I want to tell you one little story about that mountain. When I was in 8th grade, the school took a trip, and right over here east of here, a mile or two, there's a lot of beautiful round rock. Just beautiful, smooth. And that's where the teacher took us to for our overnight outing. And we, like I told you, I always dreamed of climbing this mountain, and I never did. So 3 of us, Keith Colbert one, Sylvan Graff was the other, we decided we'd sneak out from the camp, the school camp, and we'd go up that canyon, and we'd fulfill that dream I had of climbing that mountain. So we started up one of the canyons. We got up to, I don't know, maybe a third of a mile, and we had to go through a little narrow little place to climb up through to get up. The canyon, generally, you know, a canyon, the wash generally has a gradual slope to the top. And this is like that too. And so we thought, well, we can go up that canyon. So we headed out, we went up about a third of a mile, and just in front of us was a big bush and a great big rattlesnake. That stopped the climb. We were glad to get back to camp. And we went back. That's the nearest I ever got to scaling that hill. Now, wouldn't that be a nice dream or objective in life? Huh?
Well, if you like rattlesnakes.
I mean, yeah. I probably wouldn't have found any going up this south side of the seaside. Look at that mountain. It's beautiful. That's been one of the marks of my life. To just look at that mountain and think I'm going to scale that mountain someday.
When are we going to start?
Tomorrow.
I'm going home.
What do you mean we, Renee? You're not going to.
I can find somebody.
Grandpa could get farther up than you could.
And I've told you 2 things that have been important to me. Help clear the ground. 14 couples were called to come up here and settle it, and I told you about that. The other thing was, this is where I came in the holdup. I don't know if it's this street or the next one down. Or the next one up. It came right into the center of Ireland. And I run, and I wish I could show you, but this flat has many acres of just sand, of flat as this table. But they built fences, see? Every 40 acres they build a fence. And there's a lot of Russian thistle that grow here. And they would blow and pile up against the fence, and the wind would come and take the sand and pile it up till there was only one barb on top. They had net wire fence, and they had one barb on top. They put on top so cattle couldn't jump over. I mean, the barb was a good fence. It would cut them, and they wouldn't try a barbed wire. And I come charging through there. I was so frightened from that holdup. Read that when you get a chance. And I would plow into this wire. I couldn't see it. I'd plow into the wire. And I had my legs bleeding. And I was spitting blood when I got to the first house. And I run up to the first house. It must have been 3 in the morning, 2 or 3. And knocked on the door. And who came to the door but the guy that used to catch for me in baseball, Rules. I tell that in that too. Did you read about my baseball life? I dreamed of being a baseball, and I was. I did pitch baseball for Dixon. And I could show you, that is the finger and that is the thumb. That's gripping the ball. I wish I had the ball here to show you. I grip the ball tight. You have to curve it. Then I twist it, I squeeze it tight so it spins. So you spin it. And it's the spinning that makes it break. It gets to a certain point, it'll take a break. And I used to throw the out, the in, and the drop all the time. And then the shoulder ball. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But he's the first guy, the first house on the west that I run into. And incidentally, Robert sold this guy, Robert Stuckey, some of you know him, sold this guy, Reuben Stuckey, his home. Well, Reuben, what's the matter? He said, Rex. And I said, we've had a holdup. And I said, Uncle George and Heber, I think you're killed. I heard a shot just after I left the stuff. And I think he killed them. So they gathered a posse. I guess we got time. But living with Rulon was a Mexican. And that guy always wanted adventure. He was the first guy that got out of bed, got a rifle, and joined the gang. They took about 6 or 8 men. And he said, where is it? I said, just up about 3 miles, just west of our 3 mile, about a half a mile. So they took off.
Dad, where was the road?
What road is that?
That where you were driving? Where was the hold up from here? Where is it?
We're going up there.
Is it out there?
No, we're going down on the highway now. We can't go on the two.
But the road is out that way or that way?
It's out here.
Out that way?
Yeah. I'll show you where our 3 mile was. If I had time, I could tell you a lot of stories about this plateau up here, the Indian graves. I'm telling Harrington. It's a big plateau, and you'll see it when we get there. And so often there'd be a crevice, and that's the way the Indians buried their dead. They would, if they owned a horse, they would kill the horse and bury him with them. That was the nature of Indians. They'd put everything you owned with them, so you could take it into happy hunting. You'd have it when you went into happy hunting. Heaven was their happy hunting. And I found I got bridle bits and a lot of things that left from that. Now, I can't see if I've told you all in one page. Anyway, Rulon said to his wife, take Rex home. Take Rex home right now. And so she did. She got out of bed and took me down to Santa Clara. Now, I'll tell you one thing, I'll probably never think of it again, but I was in shock for 1 week. I was in shock for 1 solid week. I didn't know one thing that was going on. I was moving, I was doing just this. But all at once, on Saturday, I was splitting with just exactly 1 week from that day that I was held up. I was splitting wood, and I just like I come out of a dream. I began to realize, well, yeah, there's something, I hadn't even been conscious of those things, yet I was moving, I could see everything. That's how severe that hold-up was. We looked down and shot them down 2 hours, and then it had an effect on me. And to this very day, if you ride with me, you'll never see me park close to the highway. Never. That's grounded. I never want to be where anybody can run into me. That's as much to me as anything in my life. I get clear off the road. I'd rather go clear out in the rocks than to anywhere near this highway where anybody. Because the holdup was fellows escaping through the night. He'd killed 2 people in Utah. And he was escaping. He told us this. He said, you got to stop my escape. He said, his car was wrecked. He said, I'm going to try it. If it won't work, because I'm killing him. Well, you read the story maybe, haven't you? Anybody read that hold up
If they
story?
haven't, they will.
And, now we're going to have a picnic here. But look at Ivan's. I helped clear the ground. President Ivan said we're going to build a town up there. He called 14 couples. My sister was one of them. We're up in 7. And at 12 years old, I helped clear this picture.
You know, then it was just desert, and now it's worth $20,000 an acre.
You can't even conceive of it. Now these young
Buy a lot.
kids won't realize it, but like Robin and Connie and you younger people, you'll appreciate this more. They won't realize those things. But isn't it nice? Isn't this a cute little town? And when I left, there was 1 ward, and they had a hard time of even, well, it was a branch, actually a branch, not a ward. Now there's 3 or 4 or 5 wards in this area. In this tough time.
Times really change.
You see what a wonderful thing it is to look back and see this. Tell them what you said about that, Margaret, that looking back is what?
If you want to anticipate life, you look forward. If you want to understand it, you look back.
Isn't that nice? Well, I guess that's all at this point. Now, we'll have have an excursion to climb this mountain in the near future.
Not tomorrow's Sabbath. We can't do it tomorrow.
Monday. Anybody that can stay over will do it on Monday.
It's surprising.
That's not considered the ox being in the mire, I don't.
Making the trek up the hill. Pioneers heading for the Lone Prairie. The children of the pioneers, everything. So.
Here's the spot right here. That might even be, that couldn't be it, but the piece of wood there. This was graded, all it was dirt just like it is now. And but they had a big deep bar pit on each side with a grader. They didn't have a cat, they had a horse grader. Dug that bar pit till they graded it up, and there was only room for about one car, not much more. A guy come whizzing up here. I better go back. You can read the story. You can get it all. I won't tell all of it. But we came up after a load of wood and it was all loaded. Coming down here, we blew a tire right here. Blew a tire. There's a deep bar pit in here. So Uncle George said, well, we got to build a fire. We can't see. It was about 12 o'clock at night. He said, we can't see, so we unloaded part of the wood and built a nice big bonfire right here. And we were here fixing the tire, and I happened to be the one that was down on the wheel and trying to take it off. Now, if you remember, you people maybe not any of you remember, even Bishop and Ted and them. But those times had the rim was right around the edge of the wheel. It wasn't down next to the house. And you took off a lot of lugs right around the edge. I was there trying to take those off. Bang! It was off. I happened to have 2 pairs of straw breeches on, and that wheel pinned me to the ground. Right here. And I called Heber. I said, Heber, he was with us. That's the boy, a year and a half older than I am. He came running back, and I was pinned down. Smashed, that guy knocked the car off the jack, and it landed, just knocked took my pants and tied them to the ground. And I heard someone say, what the devil's gone wrong? What's wrong? Nobody said a word, not an answer. And pretty soon he said, what's gone wrong anyway? He looked, nobody moved. Said it about the 3rd time, and in the meantime, Heber helped me get out from under the wheel. We went around the front, and the car was a big black car, big one. And then we saw somebody move. And see, this was 12 at night and no lights. And our bonfire sitting out here to the side. And pretty soon we saw someone move. The door started to open slowly. coming, she comes trying to back out of the car, out of the car seat. We didn't have an idea who was in it or what kind of people we were dealing with. He backed out and he had a double-barrel shotgun. And he backed out. He said, now you goddamn guys, line up to that fire right now. So we obeyed, naturally we obeyed. We had our hands up in the air, all three of us. After a little while, he's cussing. He said, he told us why he was there. He said, I've been trying to escape. He said, I killed 2 guys in Utah, and he said, I have to go through the night. He said, you fouled me up. He said, I'm going to kill you. We found out later he'd been drinking wine. And so he said, I was just, lined up 3 of us. I was the smallest. He said, the shortest one pointed at me. He said, go and get your license plate off the front of your car, your pickup truck. We had what we call a Dodge Commercial. It's just like these vans now, only it has screen on it, screen on the side. We had it loaded clear to the ground with wood. We've taken the wood, some of it out to build a fire. He said, now you go and get that license plate and bring it to me. So I did. I obeyed. I knew better than do anything else. But I thought that's the end of us. I went over and got the license plates and took them to him. He said, looked down a minute, he said, now I'll go and get the other off the back. And that morning, when we left to go after wood, I wanted to take a shotgun. I'd generally taken a shotgun to hunt rabbits and quail. There's a lot of them up in the woods where we went, up to what they call food. And Uncle George said, no, Rex, we're not taking any gun today. So I went back to the pickup where the load of wood. I could see the guy. He was in front of the fire, and he had us lined up by the fire. And I saw him so plain, I thought, oh, if I had that gun, we'd get out of this. I'd have killed him. I know I'd have killed him. There would have been no argument. I'd be rear-ended anyway. But and so, if you can see right here close, drop off into a wash. While I was back there doing all this thinking, I thought, I better escape. I better escape. That runs through my mind. I better escape. I better get help. So I left and dropped off that hill down into the wash. The next thing I knew, Brother Tober was yelling, screaming. He's screaming, thought, come back, Rex, come back. So I climbed back up on the hill and made myself beside of those guys and lined up to that fire. I gave him the plates then. He said, now after, I don't know, it seemed like we'd been there eternity. I guess we'd only been there an hour or 2. And I kept hoping somebody would come along the road. And I guess there wasn't a car past there in 5 hours or 10. Because this is nothing but dirt road, and that was the road to Los Angeles. He said, no, after he'd been there so long, he said, now I'm going to try my car. If it doesn't start, he said, that's the end of you. And so, of course, he was still out of reach of, so we were standing there, and Brother Tober said, whispered to us, he said, I'm going to try my car, and he started to go towards the door, back up with his gun on it. He said, now if it doesn't start, he said, I'm killing all 3 of them. Brother Tober said, when he opens that door, it starts to get in. Break. So he started to open the door and had the gun, couldn't keep it on us while he was getting in the car. So we broke. I went this way. Look at that hill over there. I went this way. And I climbed that hill. I was so frightened. And I heard a shot when I got about over, I heard a shot, and I thought, he's killed those 2 guys. Well, after I never did know what happened to them after I got home. But anyway, I climbed that hill, go up over there. If you notice it, I showed it to Bill, and then that's a little, like a little ridge. It goes down again into another big wash. And up the other side, I said, I headed up and I climbed. When I heard that shot, I went faster than ever. And I run 3 miles across Island. Went over across Island for help. And I told you the story about going into Island. They got a posse and they come out, and they said when they got surrounded the car, they said, you guys can so the leader said, you're surrounded, just real quick. Then he tried, he had a butcher knife with him. I don't know why he ever got it. They said he tried to cut himself. It's a narrow line, short of a narrow when we got home, when I got home, a week later, I learned that when I got home where Heber and Uncle George went, one went down the river, down the creek. See that winding creek? That goes way over in that valley. He went that road, which was probably 5 miles home. And Uncle George, of course, was older, and he took off, followed into our field, and then went down that highway home. 1 week I was in shock. I told you about that down there. Now, I told you you guys want to ask questions. This is one of the great times. This is one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. I mean it. When you read my story, you'll know. While I was in college at Logan, Reader's Digest had, and they still have it, first person stories. They was offering $2.50 a word. I thought, oh man, if I could win that, that would take me through college. So I sent that in to Reader's Digest. Where's Mother? Is she here?
No, she didn't walk up here.
So we found the letter with the original copy in it. Not too long ago, but since we moved down to St. George, we can't find it. With the Reader's Digest stamp. Prove I said it. Didn't win it. Just when World War II was starting out, Hitler was on the rampage. He was taking a lot of these people out to the concentration camps. One boy that won this story contest had tried to escape Hitler for 7 days. He crawled at night down through a ditch. You know, over in Holland, that's where it was over in that area. There's a lot of canals. He crawled down, and daytime he'd get under some brush in the canal and stay there. And he won it. I can see why. That was now, I told you the story is in the book.
Well, we'll have to go reread it again, huh?
Well, I think you'd appreciate it more. See, we own this field right over here. We see those trees, these trees? We own that field, half of it, south half. Albert Graff, brother-in-law, Uncle George, he owns this field. And so, I don't know, Dylan. I told you I want to tell a little story of Ivan's death that I forgot. And rabbit. In those days, these kids, you that are old enough, might realize, we used to have rabbits in Dixie. We'd go out when they'd mow hay. The rabbits would stay where it wasn't mowed. They'd stay inside. They wouldn't dare come out. They'd mow around. The hay was laying flat. And then they'd try and run across that, and you could catch them. They couldn't run fast enough to cut hay. So we did. And one day, we got word that Milo Ants. And if you read in my story about Milo Ants, was in World War I. He was cut off by the Germans. 6 men out of 315 men in that regiment, all that came out of it. He was one. They were up 3 days. They never had any ammunition. They never had anything to eat. They never had anything to drink. And Milo Ants then was cutting this field. This was long time after that experience he had. Cutting this field of hay, so he said that he and I had heard about it, so we got on our horses and went up where he was cutting hay. We was going to have a good time. He was cutting hay and he said he had a little dog, a cute little dog. And he said, if you guys will take the rabbits, take care of the rabbits from this dog, you can have half of them. Of course, we were glad, and we could get a lot of them ourselves because we fed the rabbits in that heavy hay. They always had a long willow. I explained this, and so you either read or have read it. And a club. You had a club in one hand and this willow. If you could get close enough to the rabbits, you hit him with a willow. If you couldn't, you threw your club. And there'd be sometimes high 6 to 10 men hunting rabbits in that field. Well, anyway, we both put on a pair of extra straws that day to ride horses. We always rode barebacks. And when we got up there, we had so many rabbits, we didn't know what to do with them. So we each took a pair of straws off, tied the bottom, the leg, filled them both with rabbits, tucked them in, paddled, put them over the horse, and one drawn the horse and one drawn. Our folks cooked rabbits. And you can laugh at that. Rabbits are better than chickens.
what I've heard.
And they would bottle them. They would bottle them. That would be a winter supply of meat. Now I told that story, but I didn't want to deviate from this. But I won't worry anymore about telling it. You must picture this road. There's deep bore pits, narrow road. This is the road to Los Angeles. This is where all the traffic went, over Utah Hill. Now this has been worth a lot to me, to just come back and relive it. Brother Harrington took my picture standing here, and he said he would send me the picture. And I showed him he took a picture of that hill. That's where the first hill I climbed. When you read it in the story, you read about that first hill I climbed over, and then went dropped right back down. I thought it was on Tony. I thought it was on Ivan's Bank. I was disappointed to know I went down, had to go down again, then climb go across the road, and up another one. I'm scared. I climbed till I could hardly breathe. And ran. And here I am. Well, how long, Brent?
Yeah.
Where's Brent?
Yeah.
How long did we say it was?
64 years.
64 years ago. 64 years ago.
How old were you again?
I was 17. Let's fix that. 1927. 64 years ago.
Yeah, I've been to Sherry.
Well, it's so wonderful to have you here.
Well, let's enjoy the rest of it. Oh, okay.
We're still hiking through the plains.
Look, see that little bunch of black rocks around that thing? That's along the tip. And it's right down off that, right in here in the tip. Our field run right through it.
Is that right?
Come. Ah! Yeah.
This one was in the ditch too. It was like my frame was just sitting on the ground. So after I dug for quite a while, and then I had to put it in 4 low. Because in 4 high, I had it in 4 low high, and it just wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't even spin.
Wait, I want to get her drinking that bottle.
Okay. Baby. Oh, baby.
Yeah, we know what he wants.
What?
They're gonna go take a nap.
No, we're not.
Oh, that's even better. What? It's not on, is it?
Uh-huh.
Hello. This is Cambria.
We've got to drop stuff off.
Pine Valley's towards Winchester Hills. I don't know.
I'd take him right up Snow Canyon.
Squish up her nose.
Yeah, that's the best bet for Snow Canyon.
No way. It's got to be completely quiet.
That mountain way over there. Yeah.
What kind of a party is this? Every party?
Now she's
Sorry. Whoa, right off the end of the table. What a little bonehead. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Now she's going to be psychologically warped. Susie called her a bonehead. Say, Dad, I'll never be the same.
Here, give her her bottle.
What are you doing? Just
Cambria!
Yeah. You gonna do it again?
We'll let her still see me.
Okay, hold on.
grandpa's house. We got dropped
Cambria.
Okay. Now, I don't know. I guess after dinner tonight, we're just going to have a.
They better take my bag.
You gonna go swimming? Are you gonna go swimming in our place? Honey, what are we doing?
We're going to go and take the girls swimming.
That was a quick smile.
I told him that we're going to take
I think Steve Hey!
Grandpa's written his book. I mean, it.
What do you mean?
Look at him.
I got a cheeky chair.
I need a hat. I didn't get one. Oh, are you gonna go swimming with me and Cassie? And Bree too?
Brian, walk back over here. Hi, sweetheart. Cambria.
So you're not going to do the
Cambria. 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 Hey.
Where are you going?
You cannot walk
No idea.
I better quit before my eyes.
Better give one more.
Come on, Grandpa, right here, run the kisser.
Oh! Good. Ah, it's a sucker pitch. Got him inside. He swung for it.
Okay, I'll work on my catch and you work on
Yo, what's the matter with the ketchup?
Come on,
Can't
Bud.
stop those.
Maybe I better go be a gopher.
Oh, that was it.
I need a bat.
Oh, that was it.
That's better do it, farming, not farms and so on.
Get the.
I wouldn't even think of it.
Jonathan.
That's cool. I don't blame you.
Wow.
I can't
You got
feel much
one
better.
too right out.
Anyway, Ken, that's really.
Hey.
Or wanting you to hold her.
What?
I was coming on, you know.
Good thing, just walk around with that.
Hey, and she goes,
video there,
and she goes, and she goes to Robin all day long. She's constantly touching her. Robin, don't video this. Oh, she is.
Hi.
He's pulling me down.
I'm not. You just keep talking.
Here, let me
Oh, I'm an old man. I can't do that. What do you mean? What do you mean? Are you trying to say that I'm old?
Cambria. Yeah, I know. We got 2 kids that are named Bree. One of them's.
Look. Here, camera's getting mad.
22 or 24? I think it's 24.
I'm 52.
You just got home off of this.
The more slave has gone to rest. We know that he is free. His own daylight is served in night. Way down in Tennessee, the poor old slave has gone to rest. We know that he is free. His bones they lie like his stirrups and night. Way down in Tennessee, see. The pure old slave has gone to rest. We know that he is free.